Placing dirt into a pile of dirt.
Yeah, or else it drops on the ground and changes the terrain. So you have to specify like, I don't want it to become part of the terrain. I want it to drop as a pile. And there's been plenty of times where I've accidentally said drop on ground and then it
You have
raises the
someone
ground.
talking to your chat.
Do I?
Yeah.
Oh.
Good job, Alex.
No, I actually have 7 viewers watching me dig. Oh, well, guys, I'm thinking of mine out the rock. Like right now, I'm actually dealing with that at the moment. I am. I've got some rock right here that I have to dig out. So you cannot dig into solid rock. So it really kind of depends. Like, you have to watch your corners, right? So right now I've got dirt. There's some dirt on here, but it's in one of these corners. So this kind of is not the best place because it's up on the side of a hill. Luckily, my digging skill is pretty high. So let's see, I've got 34, 23 shovel, and then my digging is almost 50 now, 46.87. So when you first start off, you can't really dig at this steep of a range. It looks like I got some dirt here. I'm not digging into that. It'll tell me once, maybe it's up here. Yeah. And then once I clear it away, now, I think you can pour concrete. I'm not a professional. Like, I like to run around and slay stuff. And I usually let, one of my buddies build the house. But I'm kind of all alone. I've decided to pick an island way out here to... He's digging. You see that? He's digging while he's watching me dig. Yeah. So, so I know you can make concrete. Basically, in the early stages, while you are... Yeah. See, I never was the terraformer guy. So now it's kind of like, we're kind of learning together. I do have there were some pro tips. Like, if it says that it can't go any further, you got to kind of pay attention to that text. Here, I can show you what I'm talking about. Let me drop this off because it makes me so heavy. So, for example, I'm boned right here, right? I've leveled out this island. I've got all of this flat, but then when I got to this corner, why am I out of stamina? Am I still climbing? No, I'm not. That's not level. That's level. That's level. So I'm standing on flat ground. You want to make one spot flat. If you didn't, some people might not know that. So this actually looks like it needs dirt. That's probably where I was really kind of concerned because this little island way out in the middle of here, I was worried that I wouldn't be able to get iron and that I was going to be boned. Oh, the dogs are eating this grass. Good for them. So, what I'm trying to do is expose the rock face here. I think that this is where some dirt is. Now, if you've been playing for a while, where are you? Are you on Worm Online? Are you on Worm Unlimited? Because I've played both. We played Worm Online for like months. probably sunk 1,000 hours or more into it. But then after a while, our premium time ran out, and that 20 point skill cap is murder. So yeah, mining is the bomb. I'm about to learn here. See, and on our last deed, we had a guy who was like the blacksmith, the miner, and I would do my Oh no! Oh man! I dropped it on the ground instead of as a pile. That always sucks. Oh yeah, but that was like last year. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's great, man. That's great. Like ×3 skill rate is pretty good. That's what you get on the PvP servers. We're running our own server. It's called Griffin. You can find it publicly online. My mate is hosting it, so it's 24/7. It's not a big population, but it is sort of described as PvP, PvE. Yeah, dropping it on your... Now, I have a lot of macros set up, but not for the digging, which I'm going to probably have to do here. Drop as pile. Thank you. In fact, open this one up. Sweet. I'm trying to expose this rock face. Let's see what happens if I do this. So I think our server is, how do macros work? Well, you need, so I have a G, like, what is this, a G800? Logitech G8. It's basically an MMO gaming mouse. And it came with some software. You can also find some stuff online. So, like, for example, right? Digging takes 8.9 seconds for the start, so it's 10 seconds. So what I would do is I can click my mouse button. Oh, and so now I'm distracted, so I'm not, like, paying attention here. Drop as pile. Why am I so heavy? So you would just set up a macro, so I'd know that... Oh, I know why I did that. Because I was talking about it. Oh my god, rest. Get your stamina back. Oh, because I'm climbing. I'm actually going to have to grab some dirt here. And you would just say, like, every 10 seconds, let's say I hit the key binding and I key bind dig to J, right? That's kind of actually how my setup is. You know, so I would just say every 10 seconds hit J, and then I would walk away. And the thing is, like, something like digging is limiting by your body strength, right? So you can only pick up, like, maybe when you first start, like, 4 piles of dirt, and then maybe like around 22, 23, you can pick up 5. So you still have to monitor it, but what it does is it gives you, like, 20 seconds that you can walk away. Or maybe more like 30 seconds. You could go get a drink while you dig up, to your limit. It's already flat. It's dirt. It's dirt. Pile of dirt. Let's take a couple more. But it's useful for things like, let's say you got to make 100 pegs on a boat. Yeah. That's where it is. Like, let's say you want to do fletching and you want to get your fletching up. You set up a macro so that, like, it clicks the make button. Otherwise you get fatigue, right? You start losing stamina. So you time it. Like, let's say it takes 3 seconds to fletch a stick into an arrow shaft, right? So, and you and each stick gives you 10 arrow shafts. So, let's say you have 20 sticks on you. So that's like 200 arrow shafts. Yeah, so you would just say, click this button every 4 seconds. That lets you take the 3 seconds for crafting and then 1 second to rest, get your stamina back up. So then you really can walk away for about 3 minutes, while it works on its own. Now, on the actual server, on the Worm Online server, that's kind of frowned upon, right? Um, so I think that technically, if you got caught doing that on Worm Online, you would get in trouble. I never got in trouble, but I was discreet. Um, the problem is, like, if your game is like that tedious, where you have to click every 3 seconds 200 times, there might be something wrong with the game. Like, maybe we could use a UI that would help us out, make things a little less tedious. But
Are
I
you
guess
talking about StarCraft?
no, we're talking about Worm.
Oh.
Yeah, I've actually got 7 viewers watching me dig. My worm, my
What?
it's actually called Terra-forming My Deed, Worm Unlimited. I've got more people watching me dig a hole in a game than have ever watched me play fucking World of Ships or something. So I'm just talking about dirt. My new buddy here is Measly Monkey. He is digging and he's watching me. He's streaming me dig while he digs. So he's asking. So he's asking what kind of mouse I have. It's a G800, right? G800. That sounds right, right? Logitech. I'll post a link to it. This is no. It was on sale. I saw it on Kotaku Deals. Actually, I bought the Razer MMO mouse, but that guy, the Logitech actually got better reviews. That was the crazy thing, and I was like, I'm finally gonna own a piece of Logitech, badassery. But no, that's not what happened. G800, is it in this list? Here's the G600. Jeez. Oh my god, how hard is it to find a link? G800 mouse. There we go. And I know a couple guys who have this thing, and they likes it. They not sell it anymore. Maybe they're onto the G600 now. This is basically it. Yeah, this is it. Holy jeez. Nah. I did not spend this much money on this. That's the guy. Those buttons are awesome. Let's see. Yeah, that's basically it. I guess they kind of call it something different. It's really useful because what you could do is you can. All right, so for example, like if you've looked at the mouse has 1 through 20 keys on it on the side. Let me see if I can level and talk. So, like for example, my number 1, which I can activate with my finger. 1 is. Let's see if my. Let's see if we can actually see my key bindings, or you guys probably won't be able to see it. No. But let's say, like, for example, oh, I know what it is. Number 1 is to target. Or number 1 is to not target. So, like, for example, if I were to try to tame these dogs and then they aggroed on me, I could hit the number 1 with my thumb real quick, without taking my hand off the mouse or moving my other hand, so I could be dodging and then I could hit number 1. I would untarget him. Then shift. So I know for a fact that 2... I'll show an example. 2 is like to lead my horse, which I've lost my horse, honestly. Drop this as a pile. Ugh, this marsh. Yeah, I planted all these willow trees. Yeah, but you can find it on sale. Don't s- don't spend that much on it. You can definitely get at least 20 bucks off. So my number two button. There's my horse. Come here, girl. Another great example is like I can hit number 4 with my thumb, that forge. Shift 4, so I just drop my pinky. That's botany. And then if I hold down there's a third button on that mouse. If I hold down that, which is like my mouse shift, I hold that down, I can cut grass if I have it. So there's 3 functions right there, right on my one thumb button. So I can quickly do a lot of things. It helps when I'm farming. So I've got my like number 5 is to sow, and then shift 5 actually farms, rakes it up. And then what is control 5? I forget what control 5 is. So yeah, this is what I've dug out of this little corner of the island. And that actually took quite a while. It's looking pretty good. And then I know that since I'm right here, and this is where I started, some of my buddies on this server are over here. But they're Horde of the Summoned. We're not friends. We're not going to be friends while we're playing here. But they don't know I'm here unless they're watching this stream right now, and if they are, curses! Foiled again! Nah, I don't think they're watching. So I think we're pretty safe here, but I was pretty scared because I was like, dude, it's super fun. The terraforming aspect of this game alone is super neat, and it's relaxing, right? So once you've had like a rough day or whatever, you can always go here and dig a hole, right? My father always asked me if I wanted to end up digging ditches. Who knew that I would want to end up digging ditches virtually? Ah, alright, so the mining. Because I've seen people mine around a mountain, but I think one of the ways they cheat it is they build dirt. They stack dirt around the mountain. Oh my gosh, there's a whole season of somebody building a ramp. That's worm, baby. Don't get any more worm than that. This season, Kami, this season I'm gonna stream me building a ramp. This is awesome. Anyway, right now I've got this niche in this island with my little sailboat hidden in the reeds back here. And I found some stone. But I'm not super terribly awesome at this. I just kind of have some, a couple tips. I don't know how much I can help you with. Oh, I know. And I think I read it up on the Wikipedia, the Wormopedia, is you've got to you kind of chip at the rocks a little bit. So I think you start mining a bit, and you can start now. No matter what, you take a chunk out of it. Let's see, drop his pile. Yeah, but that's what I'm doing, digging. So being that it faces the ocean, I'm hoping that nobody sees it. This server is actually not connected to another server. So somebody would have to specifically come out here. And if you guys ever join the server, if any of you join the server, then unfortunately you know exactly where I'm at now. But you would still have to get the skill to get out of here. You'd have to build a boat. Which is also not terribly hard. We've got about a 4 times skill gain, I think, with 4 times action speed. And then if you do go, get her to play, bro. Get her to play. Is she a gamer? Oh, you know what? I got it. Get the macros going. I used to. You can macro the mining, right? Because it's simple, right? It's like just hotkey M. Let's just pretend like it's M. Hotkey M, and then it takes like what, 30 seconds to mine. It depends on how your server settings are. Get the boy on there. Well, you could do this. You can set up mining, and then mining was about a 15-minute cycle. So it take 15 minutes for the wall to fall. So then you can let the game play itself, and then you come back every 15 minutes to push your character forward, mine the next section of wall. You see? Best of both worlds. Oh no! The server crashed. Alright, we're gonna get out and get back in. Let's see what happens. Oh no. Let's see if it looks like Wayne might have dropped the server. I'll take a look at this server real quick. Let's refresh. Now the server's down. I'll go here. This is the first place I played. Yeah, it's public. It's called Griffin. Yeah, you're welcome. It's public. Let's see. It's called Griffin. It's usually not down. So this is kind of kooky. I'm gonna see if it just went down for a second and hopefully be back up. But if you type in Griffin, you won't see it now. What name do you normally go by when you go in? Well, you know, it's whatever. There's a few guys on Horde of the Summoned. It's not super populated, so if you want to hang out by yourself and kind of build your own thing, but just know people are... Yeah, there's no worries, man. Even if you just want to log on, check it out, and log off, but you're obviously not going to find it right now, because it's down for some reason. Use Measly Monkey. Cool. You know, a couple of the guys are on, like I said, Hordes of the Summon. I'm on Roll, ROL, whatever those guys are called, RM. And then there's JK, Jelen Kalel, but no, I'm on RM. I don't know if anybody is. So, you know, if you're looking for a casual server, it is technically PvP, but right now everybody knows each other. The Horde of the Summon guys are, you know, getting established. You know, nobody's gonna mess with RM. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, that's the fun part, you know. It's kind of neat because it's like running your own MMO. right? It's like you're like, what are the skill rates? What breaks the game? All right, we're just gonna play on here. But unfortunately, that's it. This other account that I have doesn't have anybody on it. This one I thought was cool. It was a 5-time skill rate. I mean, we tried with... Oh, actually, this is funny. Monday night server maintenance time, I think. Okay, so it went down for server maintenance. So I guess that's positive news, right? That he's actually paying attention. So it's a Monday night. So actually, I did start terraforming this area. Looks like on this server, it's just turned into fall. Wow, it's pretty. This, though, is nowhere near the size of the island that I was on in the ocean. This is just a little lake island that I started flattening out. And then some horse that I hijacked against his or her will.
User joined your channel.
Well, Hots is Horde of the Summoned. So Hots is Horde of the Summoned. So they're like the bad guys, right? You got JK, which is like Gen Kalon. And I just like Worm. I'm not like some super duper fan, but I did play for months and months with my mates. And then we did buy this as soon as it came out because we liked it so much. The problem with standard Worm with one-time skill rate is it's insanely painfully slow, you know, and we had a ton of fun, but once the premium time was done and all of that work, you know, the hours and hours that went into our skill was gone, it was just like it breaks your heart, you know. And if you're not willing to, or you can't pay $20 to get going again, then you just kind of have to walk away. And then the deeds decay, so you know that when you come back, all that work's gone. So this is much better, you know. You got your friends that have their server. Metis, he actually runs the server. It's open to everybody, and he does, you know, he's open for anybody to come along. I think there's sort of a monthly allowance right now, so you get like 10 silver to kind of get your deed going every month. Where is it? Let me get my rope. So Horde of the Summon is like the bad guys, and then the other guys, JK, RM, Jelkalon, I forget what R is, Ro, Milan, I don't know, let's just say that. And then the third guys, anybody on comms right now help me out? No? Okay. I don't know. The third guys, they're all good. So they follow like 3 guys. There's Foe, Venaria, and some other dude. They're basically the white lighters. Horde of the Summon are the dark lighters. So for example, as a quote-unquote dark lighter, which is what you are on your server.
The other one.
Which one?
Venora.
Venora. There's Venora. There's Foe and
Magnaron.
Oh, Magnaron. That's right. Magnaron's like the volcano god. Foe is all the I like pets. They're my favorite. You know, he's like he's a nature guy. You know. And then there's Venora, who's just like such a goody two shoes. She's so lame. You are not agile enough to ride this horse. So how did this horse get... Oh, I must have just been toting this horse along on this server. Just carrying him just for the lulz. So, you know, what does that mean? Not much. I mean, if you're the dark lighters, then you can steal and pickpocket and do all that stuff, and it doesn't hurt your faith because you're bad. And you'll get negative alignment, and that's what you kind of want. Anyways, you can't bury your dead. Yeah, well, thanks. You know? Yeah, that's Foe, Venora, and then Magnaron is basically Vulcan, so it really doesn't make too big of a difference on who you follow. I mean, each kind of kingdom has their god or goddess. We're going to leave this island that I had started making. And I probably shouldn't swim out to that spider. But, okay, let's swim this way. And I'm also butchering all these names. But on my server, I'm a follower of Foe. because I have an affinity in animal taming. Hopefully you've noticed that you have an affinity. Every character has an affinity after, I don't know, so long. Since mine was in animal taming. Uh, oh, that's not a bad affinity. Yeah, yeah, and one's a white light and one's a black light. So, and you can convert, but let me tell you from experience. So, I was in the good guy land, and I'm like, I'm sick of this goody two-shoes stuff. I'm going to convert to the black lighters. Yeah, well, don't go home once you do that, because they will murder you. They will murder you if you have a negative alignment. Like I was still in my lands. I was still a part of my faction, but because I had switched over to the dark side, we're gonna go ahead and start climbing here. I had lost. I don't know. They just tried to kill me, so I had to like just abandon. Yeah, I guess so. It's a shame. So, you know, I guess, you know, if you're with the bad guys, quote unquote, I want to make a neutral god, and we might do that on our server. You know, because oh god, I'm going to butcher her name. Libelia? Anyway, she's all like, I love people rotting out in the sun. And I'm like, whoa, dude. I mean, I like a little pickpocketing here and there, you know, a little like, you know, like some petty larcen, right? But I'm not all like, set that family on fire and let them rot in the sun. That's like a little intense, you know? It's like I'm not here to like burn the city to the ground. I'm just here to kind of, you know, play pranks. And the other guys are kind of a little uptight about that. So we're just getting lost in the woods here while we try to figure out where we're at. But so we tried to make another god, but it didn't quite work out. I was hoping for something more neutral. But what's cool is you've got that mycelium in your land, right? The that stuff on the ground, right? It's called mycelium. I'm probably butchering that. You can absorb that. So I don't know if you already knew that already, but you can absorb that, and when you stand on it, it replenishes your food and drink. If you actually absorb it, and I actually set up a hotkey for that, it repairs your wounds. Yeah, yeah. Now I tell you what, you can't disobey your god. You can't bury your body. But here's something you can do, and this just kind of screams about the flavor of your faction. It's the mycelium is the red stuff, like the red brown square. It should be all over your area. And if you mouse over it, it'll say mycelium or something like that. You won't be able to grow on it. You know, it might even align a lot of the... Are you playing creative mode or are you playing adventure mode? I guess that's the deal. It's too bad I can't show you on this one, because this server is all like Freedom Isles. Ooh. Oh. So, you know, I don't know if you're in creative mode, creative and non-epic. But you're on. Huh. If you haven't tried the adventure mode, it might be cool because you can find random loot crates. Oh, in this guy's server, I know what this guy's server is. I gotta wait like a while though. Well, it literally is called mycelium. Just like when you mouse over here and it says grass, it'll say mycelium, and then you can absorb it. And then if you're like banged up, it'll repair some of it. Super useful. Might only be a PvP server thing. But it's really useful. The other guys don't have anything cool like that, and it kind of feels like a big disadvantage. But I guess if you're in a epic battle, you don't really have time to soak it up. You know, I haven't seen a whole bunch of difference between. Okay, this is what I love about Worm. Right, we're not talking about stellar graphics here, right? I mean, it does kind of look pretty. I'm running pretty high settings, but it can lag. But it's nice. It's a nice game, and it's like you know, I can dig this up right now if I want to. And I mean, we saw it. We just saw how, you know, you're terraforming into the freaking island, and then you can dig mines, and you can flood. And there's tons of things people do. You could bury a hole, like, and you got to be kind of clever about it. But if you find a square that is like halfway, like, or what is it? It's like 2/3 into the water, but 1/3's out. You could start to mine through it, and then you could mine a underground or like barely visible underground pathway for your ship to go through it. You know, there's all these tricks, and the PvP servers are the most devious because that's where people have to be the most clever, right? So they come up with all these cool things. But what's awesome about it, and this is not exactly true on the adventure side, is like when you walk down the road, like, or when you're walking through the forest and you come across a road, you know that road goes somewhere. Like, there wasn't some map designer that designed this, you know, and was like, this would be cool and it'll lead to this city that nobody's in except for NPCs. No, that road was built somebody who spent like 2 hours mining rocks, right? So that he can break the rocks into bricks, so that he could then carry the bricks out on a cart after he had found some horses and probably tame them, right? And the cart itself took half an hour to build, and to get that cart built, he had to chop down a bunch of trees and get some nails. Well, to get the nails, he had to mine some ore, which if he's using ore, he either built a campfire to burn the nails in, or blah 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 blah, till you get to the point that somebody's built a road, right? So if you follow that freaking road, you know it's going somewhere good because somebody built it, and if they built it, it was really important. It was really important. Which, like, one of my first experiences with Worm was like we were playing Worm Online, the predecessor to this, and I was lost in the woods. I was lost in the woods being chased by a wildcat, and I was pretty sure I was going to die. And then I hit the side of a mountain, and I'm just like, the trees are everywhere. I can't see anything. And then just along the side of this mountain, I ran into a road. Whoa. And I followed that road, and this was like a super discreet area on one of the new servers. And that road led to this tiny little alcove, this little alkit, what's the word I'm trying to say? You know, a little cove where his ships were. Oh, speaking of. And it was like a secret shipyard, and this guy had tons of ships that he was building out in secret. And we just happened to chance upon it. And as I tell you this story, it manifests. This really kind of sucks, though. So I know that these are not spawned in, and I know somebody spent a lot of time building this. Alcove. Thank you. So we're going to go see. So I know for a fact that there's something up here. There's got to be. Why would somebody build a road? Yeah, I'm not on this character. This is not at all like something I play. Whoa. This server right here I don't play at all. I just kind of got on when the... Look at this. I don't see anybody in local. I got a tree farm going on here. I know, right, horse? Alright, look at that. That is some nice work. What is this? Is this more road? See, this is the cool part about playing on a server with other people, right? It's like you get to discover stuff and then try to break into it. No, I mean, I mean, I am thinking of breaking into it, but oh wow. But this is a PvE server right here. I don't think I can do it. I can harass a little bit, but I don't think there's much I can do. Not that I'm out to harass people. I like to see if I can practice on this. Oh yeah, I can practice on it. Playing with this. Okay, so I could sit here and beat on his. These guys don't have that much skill, which I'm actually kind of surprised by that. Either that, or this has been out here for a while, and it's decomposing. Look at all this stuff. Oh my god. Aw. Was old. Not allowed to do that. Alright, so this is a deed. There's a mine door. I saw the guards. So there's a deed token around here somewhere. Cotton colorful carpet. Yep, there's a guard right there. It's locked with a lock of poor quality. So these guys are doing what I was thinking of, which is, and this is gonna suck doing it by myself on that little island, but luckily it's a little island. But, aha! They probably ran into a similar issue to you did here, see? They ran into rock. But they were building a little cove, right? And they were probably going to build it out to the ocean over here. And if they get their deed big enough, they can cover this and they can build all types of ships out here. And then sail them out into the ocean. Yeah, man, look at this. I wonder how deep it has to be for some of the deeper boats. Let's see, there's a wolf. Yeah, I'm naked. I ain't got nothing. I got some money. Let's see. Probably can't do anything on this deed. Nope. Okay. There's probably a lava spider up there. But, hey, this is also why you don't build roads. This is one reason why you might not want to build a road, especially on a PvP server. Which is a shame, because roads are kind of awesome. Man, that just sucks. I would really like to mess with those boats. I'm gonna try to mess with these boats anyways. Alright, Xavier built this. 20 quality, not bad. Cedar wood, that's the wood you want to make it out of, because it decays the slowest. And it's locked with a very poor quality lock. So, over in this server, I know if you travel south, you get to the PvP server, which I'm kind of more interested in. I'm just really not interested in standing still for 10 more seconds. But that's the day and age we live in. We don't have any patience. We don't even have 2 seconds of patience. There we go. Alright. Okay. So this is south. That's north. South, north. Okay. South. So it's kind of going the right way. I think, no matter what I have to do, though, I'm going to have a boat. But, to be honest, I'd rather play on my own server. So I wonder if I can see if that server is up yet. Oh, this is called Meowville. This is Meowville. Oh, I wonder if that cat belonged to somebody. Wait a second. This deed is decaying, unless there's the deed token. There's one spot. Let's see, settlement history. I'm not a citizen. Just one guard. Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, the fact that there's damage on this means that this has already been abandoned. Or there's no money. There's no money in here. So within 30 days, this will all decompose. It's kind of tragic. Yes. There is a benefit to crafting things with different kinds of wood. Your bows and your fishing rods you'll want to craft with willow. It makes them more durable. In the case of fishing rods, when it comes to bows, it isn't up yet. Thanks, Measly. In the case of bows, you know, I have to look at Wormopedia again, because I used to bow a lot on the other server, on my main server, on the server that I play on, and I didn't notice that it took damage. Your bowstring eventually broke. So, but that's basically it. The problem with willow is it's kind of rare, so whenever you see it, you kind of want to, you know, take note, come back to it. Another better thing to do is to make a sickle. And if you make a sickle, if you're out there making tools, then you can pick the sprouts, and then you can plant sprouts, and that's the best thing to do. So you run around the woods, pick all the sprouts for all the trees, and then plant your own trees, kind of like these yahoos did over here. They got a little garden going on there. Cedar decays the slowest. So cedar is great for things that you want, like, let's say your boat. You know, boats are kind of a pain in the neck. They take a long time to make. So you want to craft your boat out of cedar. Really, you can craft it out of whatever you want. I mean, if you're going to be active, then it's not a big deal. Rosewood, or not rosewood, cherry wood is pretty nice. It's got a nice red tint to it. Yeah, you can plant trees, man. You can do like everything. You can plant trees. You can forage. This area's already... You can forage. I'm foraging now. Let's see. And then after that, I'm going to botanize. There's a potato. I can either grow that or eat it if I'm desperate. Blueberry. It's too bad I haven't found any cotton or... Ah, wemp. Wemp is great. Wemp can be used for medicine or rope. Kind of like this one thing that has a similar name. Can't recall. So I'm using the hotkeys on that mouse, right? So my number 4 key forages my shift 4. If you right click though, you got a nature, you see, and you can forage and you can botanize. Okay. You can also cut grass. Why does it let me cut grass? Because I have a shovel. That's why. If I've got my shovel selected. In fact, let's put my shovel up there. And my carving knife. Not everything can cut grass. Okay, butcher knives can cut grass. The sickle can cut grass. Oh, okay. I see what you're talking. You're talking about the sprout. Yeah. So what you do is you get your... Oh. You get your sickle... You get your sickle selected just like I got this, right? And then when you right-click on the tree, you know, or actually the square that the tree is in, it'll be in nature, I believe, and it'll be like pick sprout. Or maybe it'll say pick sprout in here. And then that's what you do. You pick sprout. And then there'll be a chance based off of your forestry. Where is it at? Oh, it's in nature. Jeez, so many skills. Yep, right there. So, I mean, on this, like, this is, like, nothing. I haven't played anything on this. So, like, you'll get forestry skill, which will affect the quality of the sprout you pick. Yeah, they're not hard to make. They don't take much metal. It's basically make a sickle blade and then make a handle, and that's it. Then you got a sickle. The other thing, too, is, like, for example, let's cut some grass here. If you use your shovel or your butcher knife to cut grass, the highest quality grass you're going to get will be 20%. It won't get any higher than that. You want to use the appropriate tool. If you use a sickle and it's a nice quality sickle, you can get like 50% grass. Why do I care about loose pieces of grass? Well, you know, that's what horses eat. That's what horses and cows eat. And if you want to tame horses and cows, then you'll want some grass, especially if you haven't been doing it. So you want to use the proper tool for the proper job. Like, let's just say the spider or something was dead, like, or one of these cats. I can butcher that spider with my shovel. However, it's not going to yield as much if I butcher it with my butcher knife. And you can probably imagine, just imagine butchering it with a shovel. That's gruesome. But it'll let you. It'll let you. And in fact, let's tame this cow right now. Come here. I need to put the rope on her. Alright, come here. Alright, so shift, I think it's shift 2? Yeah, shift 2 is taming. So, and I don't have any animal taming, but I'm getting it quickly. Oh yeah, well, thanks, man. There's a lot to this game. It took me a long time. Oh, yay! You're my friend now. Okay, cool. It's not very glorious, but we shall ride into battle on our milking cow. We're heading south anyways. South to battle. This cow actually gets some pretty good speed. It would be really nice to find like some kind of loot crate around here. So what up? The meadow. Like Don Quixote. Oh, there you said you said it. That's so funny. I just said that and I looked up and you had written that. Yeah. This will be interesting to see what happens when I get all the way down there. So, yeah, you tame your animals. I mean, once you get a farm going, you know, you'll want to grab a couple horses. You'll want to make a grooming brush. You'll want to make sure that they're groomed. Looks like somebody else has been down here, too. And you'll want to start breeding animals. I mean, getting a few things tamed would be great. Man of La Mancha. Alright, so it looks like somebody started some work here. Meadowlark. That looks like a really inconvenient place to stick a mine. Or is it because... Why would they do that? Is it to make it harder for people to take from the mine? No? I don't know. Looks like they're just making life harder on themselves. So, but here's the thing, like, gold? Maybe. See, this is a PvE server, and they're great. Well, you know, whoa. Yeah, Go! Go! My trusty steed. You know what I'd like to see? I would like to see a steampunk mod come. Once you like get past all of the medieval sort of technologies, like a last like a last level technology could be steampunk, sort of steam era type techs. And then maybe you could use gold for circuitry and stuff. But gold is useful for, I guess, religious aspects. You can make a gold altar. If you make an altar and start praying to your god, whichever god you choose, the gold one is better. You get favor better. I'm a practical man. I'm not terribly interested in valuables. Just give me a good sword or axe, and a trusty steed, and a beautiful meadow full of fields, and I am raring to go. Let's see, I feel like there's something epic on the other side of this. Alright. This feels a little familiar, though. I feel like I've been here. I feel very much so like I've been here. This is gonna keep going up, and then I think on the bottom side of this hill there's gonna be another valley, and we're gonna see some terrain if I'm not totally flipped around. Oh, make sure that you're not leaving your ores out at. Make sure you get a BSB, a bulk storage bin. They're a real pain in the neck to build, but everything decays, even your ore, and it'll start losing quality. So you want to get a bulk storage bin and a food storage bin if you don't already have that. You know, forgive me if you already know that. Yep, I know where I'm at. I've been here before on another server, but it looked way different than this. Alright. Gonna have to get off this cow. Alright, this could be death here if I go falling down this hill, because I've got no stamina. Not a large crate. You don't want a large crate. It's, I mean, those are helpful. You know, I don't know. The large crates were kind of new when no, they weren't, but there were, all I can say for certainly is the bulk storage bins and the food storage bins, and they can only hold certain types of items, and they can't hold rare items because it averages stuff. Yeah, the oven is not really that important. You can do all your cooking in the forge, and because it's harder to do your cooking in the oh, I love you. Oh, wait a second. That's my pet. Come here. Pet, go here. Well, that was convenient. I didn't lose my life. All right. I need to name this old girl. Man, that kind of sucks. And I am traveling so slow, we're going to have to drop some weight here. Let's actually drop. Yeah, the bulk storage bins also, here's something to keep in mind. Your bulk storage bins and your food storage bins average the quality, all right? Or if there's damage on it, it's going to kind of fix everything up, pull things together. You know, like, so let's say you've got a log, and if you've noticed, logs have about 24 weight. When you start using them up, you know, you might have a bunch of logs that only have like 1.75 weight in them, you know, and you might get that message like, you don't have enough material. You're like, well, shit, what am I going to do with this log that's worthless? Well, you throw it in the bulk storage bin, right? And then if you throw it in with a bunch of other pieces of logs, when you pull it back out, it's going to be the equivalent of, you know, whatever, all those pieces of log you topped in, they're going to be up to 24 weight, and they'll be in sections of 24. So it's a great way to, like, consolidate and not waste as much. That's what you can do with the logs. But here's the thing, though. If you cut a log and it's one quality, and then you've got your, you know, your 75 quality log over here, and you throw them back both into the bulk storage bin, it's going to average those two together. So all of a sudden your 75 quality log could drop down to like 20 quality, you know, and you might think like, that's not so big of a deal. Well, it might be a big a deal if you're trying to improve and repair things. So, but you know, if you have that awareness, it's great. It helps. I mean, you save a lot of material. It will separate out like cedar logs and birchwood logs and stuff like that. Also, if you are kind of new and you didn't know, like the very last piece of wood that you put into an item determines what that item is made out of. You could make a boat totally out of birchwood, right? But if you put the very last peg in, and that very last peg is cherry wood or, you know, walnut, that whole ship is going to turn into a cherry wood or walnut ship. Pretty useful if you're looking for a specific type, or if you only have birch wood but you wanted it to be cedar and you just happen to find a cedar wood stick, you know, the cedar does, you know, tick slower so it lasts longer. Or, you know, if you want a cherry wood, because cherry wood looks really nice. But if you want a cherry wood boat, you know, the problem with cherry wood, apple wood, lemon wood as fruit trees is like they drop. Like, you whack them once with your hatchet, and they drop like a stick of wood. They don't yield any wood. So it could be a real pain in the neck to try to build a ship out of the fruit woods. But you just carve one little peg into an apple wood peg, and when you're done and you're waiting to put that last of 50 out of 50 pegs into it, it'll turn the whole thing into that. All right. So I've lost my faithful, maybe not so faithful steed. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to mix this rosemary with wemp. And I'm going to use alchemy here. I'm going to try to make a cover. So that if I get hurt, I can apply this cover to me. Yeah, that works for everything too, Measly. It works with just whatever, you know. Like you can have different types of chests. In fact, and you want a large crate, your crates are going to look different. Your large chests are going to look different, and you can even pop, you know, that last stick, that last shaft, whatever it is, into some of your furniture to kind of help it look different or distinct. You know, I think it's useful in chests because you can have different colored chests, and that way you have a quick visual reference of like, oh yeah, the red one, that's got all the, you know, I don't know, acorns in it. Okay, it worked. I made a healing cover. So this is made out of wemp. This one's made out of rosemary and lovage. Can I use thyme to make anything? I don't know. Oh, no wonder. I am carrying like 10 weight of wood scrap on here. Here's something else if you didn't know. Like if you don't have enough material, like these are all one material, you can double click on it, select them all, combine them, and then it'll be one item of that weight instead of 10 items of one weight. It's really useful on because you know you can only carry about 100 items at a time. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop this because I got no use for wood scrap. I do need a new friend. Where was that cow? An old sheep. Let's grab some grass here. Yes. If you put large crates into a large wagon, you can carry more. But I think you need the strength to be able to load it into the wagon, which I think is like 23 strength, which can be a little rough because I think you pretty much start at about 20 strength, 20 everything, 20 all characteristics. So you got to work up to about 23 strength. But once you get up there, yes, that increases the capacity of your wagon like crazy. Large wagons. So, you know, you can have 3 or 4 large crates. But the large crates are the same sort of story. If you've got them in there, they average everything out. So they carry a ton of equipment. So what you're thinking is you want to put, you know, logs in there. Rocks is great. You know, just stuff that you got a bunch of and you don't know what to do. But you don't want to get rid of it because everything's kind of useful. Grass and all that. So, but you might do one of these, right? You might open them up, maybe kind of sort through your quality. And then, you know, make different crates for different quality of things, you know? Because if I combine, let's just see what happens when I combine a 28 and a 1. You know, then it brings it up to 4. I mean, you just lose so much quality. And even things as stupid as the quality of the grass makes it easier or harder to tame animals. Like this beautiful beast. Oh, so gorgeous. Now be my friend. Oh, crap. Fetter. All right. You are mine. And we are off again. Alright. Gonna disembark. I think I'm gonna try to make this a battle sheep. Be my friend. Don't run. Surely a sheep can't be harder than a cow. Quit ignoring me. Oh man. Don't act like you're not interested. Nice! Oh man, I lost the cow. This is alright. So, cows you can run at 20 body strength. Or body control. I think a bull you need 23. Horses are only 21. Alright. Where's my sheep? I'm letting you go. You are already using that. Stop leading. Come here. Alright, I'm leading you. Right. Come on, girl. And we're going to grab my battle sheep. Alright, sweet. Let's go pick a fight. Nice. I will call you Cotton Ball. Whoa. Alright. That's a venerable lava adolescent. Let's go after the adolescent. Go after this one, because it's not so close to that one. Are you ready, Cotton Ball? Let's see if this actually works. Alright, Cotton Ball. Oh man, he ran way down there. Alright. Attack it. No. Don't think old Cotton Ball is going to attack the lava spider. Smart girl. Smart girl. But the problem might be that she's just not loyal enough. Now, I don't have any animal taming on this old girl. Why am I not taming? Ah, now I have a stronger bond. We are one. Oh man. She doesn't look aggravated. We have a stronger bond. Is it strong enough to convince you to attack that? Nope. We're not that close, bro. Well, you can get that close when you have... like I said, this is not my server. That server's down for right now. Newbie aggro range. When you start brand new, it looks like I still got 19 hours. So that's a decreased creature aggro range. That's the only reason I can get that close. And even that's not a guarantee. So when you first start on a server, you got about that much time. You know, it's basically to keep you from being... what is it? Spawn camped by the frickin' animals when you're in your town. Let's see, I've taken my animal training from 1 to 6.25. I have a stronger bond. Is it strong enough for you to attack this thing now? Come on. Will you come here if I even tell you to come here? Man, you are worthless. My horse, you're doing the opposite of what I asked you to do. Ah, it's so hard to find good sheep. You know, it just might not be in this thing's nature. I did tame a cat once, and it attacked a unicorn for me, and that's pretty intense. And when I mean a cat, I mean one of those wild cats, like the ones that are like house cats. And yeah, I mean it didn't end well for that cat, but it certainly gave me time to get away. So that's it. I don't know if I'm ready to start a new settlement. You know, the server I was playing on went down. I said every Scotsman ever. But I think I'm gonna end this stream right now. But I'll tell you what, I'll throw up. Let's see. I'll throw up the server here. if you search for Griffin, it should pop up. Let me exit out of here and see if it's up. I need a break, anyways. Let's see if this bad boy is going yet. Ah, there it is. It's back up. Sweet. Ah. Nice. I'm stuck on the ground. Why am I stuck? Because I'm carrying 4 dirt. That's why I'm stuck on the ground. Drop as pile. Sweet. Why am I still slow? Because I'm walking. I'm climbing. Nice. Oh, it's good to be back home. Yeah, the character's name is Athena. She looks like this right now. Long sword. Or, I mean, two-handed sword. I kind of, like, revealed my location to everybody. But I am in, what is it called? I don't know. Hearth, which is Mole Haran or something. Oh, wait, it's here. It's Mole? Yeah, Mole Rehan. That's it, the Mole Rehan faction. And, yeah, come on. It's basically, if you want to be in a faction that's got people, go jump in, well, I'd say join Mole Rehan so that I don't get lonely. I need company. I need help. I either don't mind help on this potential deed or even starting another one. I got a good kind of start going on here. There's probably stone underneath that section right here, which means that I can burrow into the center of this. Oh, yeah. I can show you the sickle thing, too. Now that's daylight. Yeah, so you sickle up the tree. Let's see if I have any disembark. You don't want to cut down. This is the drop down instead of using my hotkeys. So I can cut grass with the sickle, or I can pick sprout. Pick the sprout. Alright, so I got a 38.36 quality. And then, because I'm kind of trying to mask, these trees are already growing, which is awesome. Try to mask the coast here, some clay. We are going to... there's already a chestnut tree growing there. Here's some dirt. Plant it in the dirt. Nature. Plant naturally. It's too wet. I could probably drop some dirt to raise it out of the water. But I don't want to do that. I'm going to plant naturally so that it's less conspicuous. If you got nice, neat rows of trees, that screams habitation, right? So, not all trees. As you get your forestry over, as you get more forestry, you'll start to, you'll be able to tell, like, this is a very old birch tree. Like, at first you only see birch tree. Also, once you get your foraging up to at least 20, you'll be able to specify what you want to forage for. Seeds, herbs, resource, anything, things start changing. The grass has been cut short. Oh, it's because I don't have my sickle selected. Oh, the other thing you can do with it is you can prune it. And when you prune a tree, Whoops. When you prune a tree, you make it younger. This is useful if you're trying to keep some trees. The older they get, the more wood they have. So sometimes you don't want to cut down the young trees. You want to kind of wait till they get mature. This, for example, this maple tree is very old, and it's going to start producing sap soon. So I didn't know it's almost maple season. So what it does, because a season is about a week. So what you can do is you can build a sap collection bucket, and you can actually attach it to this tree. And when it's when it's maple syrup season, you can tap the tree and you can collect maple syrup, and then you can store it. Everything's seasonal here, so you can't just get maple syrup whenever you want. Just like the apple trees and the cherry trees, they all have seasons, right? This lavender bush probably has a season as well, where you can collect lavender. And here's a willow tree, which actually, let's see if I can collect. No, don't cut it down. Picking. Sweet. I got a willow sprout. It's really kind of important to me. These things are pretty valuable. I'm going to go ahead and plant you right there. And the sprout died despite my best efforts. So sad. Wasted sprout. Give it another attempt. There's no sprouts to pick on this guy. But, yep, like I said, I'm going to take a break. I will see you later, maybe. Any of you guys are welcome to join. There's a forum he's got. I think it's in the... Is it in here? No, he's new at this server thing. You tell him he needs to put it in here. But I don't know. I don't know if you can leave messages on this Twitch thing, but if you can, go ahead. I've also got a YouTube. I don't know, shoot me a message on the YouTube and I'll get you the information if you're really curious. But thanks for watching, guys, and I will see